we're going to truly awaken that main character energy inside of you. We'll be diving straight into the core of what actually makes people succeed. I'm literally discovering new layers to this skill tree myself every single day, and I just can't wait to share them with you. So get cozy, lock in, and let's start this journey. Let's kick things off with a super honest question. Why are they living your dream? You probably know someone, right? Maybe a classmate, a coworker, or someone from your hometown who started out in the exact same place as you. Same background, maybe even fewer resources. But today, they're totally living the life you've always wanted. And you're sitting here watching explainers, kind of wondering what went wrong. Well, I want you to know right now, absolutely nothing went wrong. But something is different. And today, we're going to figure out exactly what that difference is. All right, let's dive into a really common myth, the illusion of talent and hard work. We've got to destroy this idea that success is just about being born with some overpowered, innate talent or, waking up at 5 a.m. to drink lemon water and grinding 14 hours a day. Just look around. There are thousands of amazingly talented people who are completely stuck, and then there are people with pretty average abilities who are just absolutely crushing it. We all know folks who grind 12, 14 hours a day and still really struggle. So if it's not just raw talent or exhausting yourself, what is actually going on here? As you can see here, the real difference separating those who make it from those who don't, well, it isn't what they do on the outside. It's the constant conversation happening inside their head. That inner dialogue is the real secret. Every single day, every single hour, the way you speak to yourself is the hidden source code running your life. It's the engine of the car. And honestly, if the engine is broken, it really doesn't matter how hard you slam on the gas pedal. And that brings us to the truth about failure, or as I like to call it, farming EXP. Look, every single person faces failure on their journey. Nobody gets a perfectly smooth ride. Literally nobody. But we have to stop seeing failure as this devastating game over screen and start seeing it as vital experience points required for your growth. Both successful and struggling people face the exact same boss battles and obstacles. The event itself is identical. The difference is entirely in how that failure is processed internally. Just look at this split-screen reality. When struggling people face setbacks, they usually say something like, "See, I knew it. This always happens to me. I'm just not meant for this." And then they stop playing. They just hit quit. But notice what happens when successful people fail. They take a beat and ask, okay, well, that didn't work. What can I learn from this? What do I do differently next time? And then they keep going. They treat failure not as a stop sign, but as critical data they need to level up. We have some grandmaster level wisdom here from Thomas Edison, who famously failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb. He said, "I did not fail 1,000 times. I found 1,000 ways that do not work." I love that so much. It proves that the absolute most successful people aren't the ones who just magically dodged failure. No way. They're simply the ones who failed the most and kept pushing forward anyway. They just have a completely different relationship with losing. So let's move to our next core concept and see how this builds into your inner monologue, which is basically a self-fulfilling prophecy. Your internal monologue literally dictates your reality. Every single person on this planet has a narrative they tell themselves about who they are. And that inner story, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It writes the script for your entire life. So if you want to change your life, you have to take a really hard look at the script you're reading from every single day. For example, think about the struggling story a lot of us fall back on. Things like, "I'm not smart enough," or "people like me don't get opportunities," or "it's too late for me," or "I always mess things up." Now, if you deeply believe these limiting stories, you're going to unconsciously make decisions that prove them right. You won't apply for that dream job because you've already convinced yourself you won't get it. You won't start that passion project because you totally know it'll fail. You're basically defeating yourself before the battle even starts. But let's flip that and imagine the protagonist story. The people who succeed, they have fears and doubts too, for sure, but their internal story sounds a lot more like this. "I am figuring this out. Others have done it, so I can too. I'm not there yet, but I am getting there." Notice the difference? The crucial takeaway here is that a successful mind isn't blindly arrogant or totally fearless. It just actively chooses a story that lets them keep moving forward despite those fears. It's a story of motion, not paralysis. To really embody that protagonist energy, we have to completely redefine our relationship with our safe zone. Comfort is a beautiful place, right? But nothing grows there. Every human being loves being comfortable, and that is totally natural. But think of it like a seed staying all warm and cozy inside its shell. If it stays perfectly comfortable, it'll never ever grow into a tree. People who stay stuck are choosing comfort every single time. They stay in the job they hate because it's safe. They stay in the environment that limits them because it's familiar. To break out of that shell and start your training arc, You have to adopt this new mindset. I will be uncomfortable for a season so that I can grow for a lifetime. Please hear me on this one. The people who succeed, they feel the exact same fear and discomfort that you do. They get super nervous too, but they make the active, courageous decision to brave the unknown right now, to embrace that temporary discomfort, all to secure a lifetime of power, growth, and freedom. Everything we've explored so far in this explainer, how you handle failure, the story you tell yourself, your relationship with comfort, it all ties together into one final, quiet, steady belief. The ultimate power-up, your energy. This is the aura you carry into every single room, every conversation, and every decision, long before success even arrives. It's fundamentally how you feel about yourself and your future on a daily basis. The catch is, people who struggle often have this completely backwards. They're just sitting around waiting for the power-up to magically drop. They say things like, well, when I get the money, then I'll feel confident. When I get the job, then I'll feel worthy. When things finally get better, then I'll be happy. They're waiting for success to arrive from the outside world to give them permission to finally feel good on the inside. But you guys, the universe just doesn't work that way. The truth is, the energy must shift first. Then the life follows. You have to back yourself. You need to embody the energy of someone who expects good things to happen first. And not because you're delusional, but because you've made a firm, unshakable decision to believe in yourself until it works. Only when you carry that quiet, steady belief will the universe and the people around you respond to that energy and help you build that amazing life. And the best part? None of this requires money or a special background or anyone's permission. It literally only requires a decision. This isn't about luck or talent. It's a choice you can make right this very second. So I'm challenging you to accept this 30-day quest to actively rewrite the conversation inside your head. Step 1, write down your current story. Step 2, write the new protagonist story you want to believe. And step 3, read it every single morning for 30 days. Just watch what starts to shift when you finally take control of your inner script. You have the absolute power to change your reality right now, starting from within. You are the main character of your own life. So, I'm going to leave you with this final, incredibly important question. What story will you choose to tell yourself today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. I really, truly hope this sparked something wonderful inside you, and I cannot wait to see you level up and achieve everything you've ever wanted.